This is not a definitive guide on farming the corrupted flowers in Felwood, because there already are a lot of really good guides on that, and in particular I like the Wowhead Classic guide, so I've linked that in the video description. However, today I do want to briefly talk about the best location I've personally found for farming Night Dragon's Breath and Whipperroot Tuber, and all it really requires is for you to be willing to kind of AFK in a specific location, and then just check in every 30 minutes or so and you can pick up both of these herbs pretty easily. As a brief rundown, the reason why I like the Whipperroot Tubers and the Night Dragon's Breaths are because they are consumables that are essentially free, they restore health or health and mana, and they don't share a cooldown with potions. They do share cooldowns with health stones and dark or demonic runes, however. So the Whipperroot Tuber heals 700 to 900 health, and the Night Dragon's Breath heals approximately 425 mana and 425 health. So for a spellcaster like me, for a druid, they're not as good as the dark or demonic runes, but the Night Dragon's Breaths are an alternative that are much cheaper and easier to farm up, and they kind of are a supplement to use sometimes when I'm in endgame raiding. So we're in Felwood, and we're at 3459 as a coordinates, and you can see we're on this branch or this root of a tree. And when you stand here, the reason why this location is so nice, it's here in Jadenar, is because you can see both a Night Dragon's Breath spawn and a Whipperroot Tuber spawn from this specific location. It's not complicated, but here on the left is the Night Dragon's Breath spawn. You can see it quite clearly. And if we pan over to the right, you'll quickly see there's the Whipperroot Tuber spawn from this location. So you can actually see both of these at the same time, which is really convenient. There's also a small thorium vein that spawns right nearby, and if you look at my map that I've already shown you, there are several herb nodes that spawn nearby, including Grom's Blood and Dreamfoil. Now if you're a stealth class, you can hide where I'm hiding. If you're not a stealth class, you can back up to this location, and you're fairly far away from anyone, and there's a pretty good chance you can hide out here and be fairly safe. You can just kind of run back up and check both spawns, run back here and hide. You could also simply log out and just log back in every approximately 20 to 40 minutes, because that's about how long it takes for the plants to refresh. Now I want to mention a note here. If you don't see the plants physically, that means they've despawned, and their respawn, I'm not entirely sure. You can probably double check this on Wowhead, but I believe it is about 2 to 6 hours to respawn. I'll mention there's another hidey spot back here. If you're only worried about the Night Dragon's Breath, you can kind of hide behind the entrance to Jadenar, and it's a pretty nice spot as well for a non-stealth class. However, this is a 2 to 8 hour respawn. I think it's closer to about 2 hours, personally. I've been camping this for quite a while now, and it seems like they don't disappear for very long. Now, once they've appeared, they'll show up as corrupted, as shown by the Whipperroot Tuber that we're running by here. And to cleanse those corrupted flowers, you need Cenarian plant salves, and there's a whole guide on how to obtain those. I recommend you level up in Felwood, so you can acquire quite a few of those, and collect a nice stash of them, so at 60 you can farm these up pretty easily. However, when they spawn corrupted, once you cleanse them a single time, you can harvest from them the Night Dragon's Breath or the Whipperroot Tubers, and upon doing that, they will become no longer available to be harvested, but they won't despawn. They'll usually go dormant, and when dormant, you'll still see the plant there, but you can't click on it or interact with it. However, when they go dormant like that, after you've cleansed it one time, they'll refresh in about 20 to 40 minutes, and you can harvest them again without having to cleanse them again. And you can do this probably about 5 times. I think the most I've ever gotten is about 4 to 6 times in a row, where a single cleansing allows me to re-harvest the same plant every 20 to 40 minutes up to about 5 times. And each time you harvest the plant, you'll get 3 to 7 of the Night Dragon's Breath or Whipperroot Tubers. So it doesn't take a lot to quickly collect, 20 to 40 of these of each of them just by camping this location. So over the past week, in preparation for Blackwing Lair, I've collected about 130 Night Dragon's Breath and about 80 Whipperroot Tubers, and I've also picked up a little bit of Dreamfoil and Grom's Blood that has been hanging out nearby. There's also a Mountain Silver Sage node nearby. That's pretty much it. If you want to collect these herbs, pick up a few of the Cenarian plant salves. If you get maybe 12 to 20, you should be able to acquire, I would say, 50 to 100 Night Dragon's Breath and Whipperroot Tubers simply by camping this one location. And all I would do, I would sit here and I'm playing another video game. I'll just tab over to WoW every 20 to 40 minutes, and then run around, pick up both the herb nodes, and then go back and hide, go back to my game, and move on with my life, and come back every 20 to 30 minutes. It only takes about 30 seconds to harvest both of these. You can go back to your hidey hole, and you're in good shape for the next refresh. I strongly recommend this location. It's kind of a cool spot I found recently. I didn't realize how close they were together and how easy it is to farm these. So please enjoy it. I hope this was helpful. As always, I want to thank my Patreon supporters, especially Timothy B, Luke D, and Chris S. And with that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.